Good morning, everybody. Why is this not? Wow, 2 minutes to go. Come on. All right. There we go. Finally. There we go. Audio, video. Check, 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 check. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this finds you to be. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks, Blake, for the sound and audio check. Laramie, Laramie! What is going on? We have Roger was like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as well. Adrian, good to see you. I am not at Gen Con. The last time I went to Gen Con was 2011. It's just too much, man, for me. Too much. I don't know. If I went, I've mentioned this on the Discord. If I went, I would get a skybox at Lucasfield, invite all my friends to hang out there and run games throughout the con with the occasional jaunt to the exhibit hall and foods, and then crashing at the hotel. The benefit for me to go to Gen Con would be to see people that only go to Gen Con. Or it's the one con that the most amount of people that I know go to, and in an effort to see them. It wouldn't be like I wouldn't go there to just play games or, get the latest release of something or anything like that. But if you haven't been, I definitely would recommend it. It's definitely an experience for sure. Shamba, good to see you. Laramie, good to see ya. Flint. All right. Pull up my pants. Pants are falling down. That's rated R. Just saying. Uh-oh. I don't think my chat is working again here. I might have to. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was wondering if something here. Harrigan, good to see you. I just have to scroll down. Good to see you. Ryan. I read Gen Con sold out this year. I am perplexed if there was a lot of buy at the door ticket buyers. I had heard the same. But is it the first time it's sold out? Todd, good to see you. Yeah, where Game Hole gets that big, I'll be finding the next Game Hole. I wonder, I should ask Alex, is his goal to hit, 100,000 people? I can't imagine trying to do that. Gen Con has a full-time staff. They work year-round for specifically Gen Con. I don't know how big it is. I don't know if there's 5 people or 10 people or 100 people, but and then where would, I know the next biggest city that could accommodate the next bump would be Milwaukee. It's interesting because I don't know, I'd have to ask Alex. I wonder if Game Hole gets more attendees than Gary Con at this point. And Gary Con is on, I think Game Hole Con came below 3 Gary Cons. So Gary Con might be up to 13 now, is it? And then Game Hole Con's on 10 or 11. I think something like that. And I know Gary Con has a unique audience, or it did, in its roots. That's the thing about Gary Con, where it was very much going there for Gary. So you have to know the guy existed, right? Because there's a lot of people that might play D&D that don't know who Gary Gygax is. Believe it or not. Shocker, right? Or they don't care. And then there's people that eat, sleep, and drink at the altar of Gary. Regardless, the con has changed a little bit. There's a lot of people that won't go there simply because it's not what it was in its heyday. quote unquote heyday, like, Gary Con 5, 6, 7, whatever. It's changed a little bit. And there were talks of what happens when Gary Con gets too big. So they've already moved from one venue to another in Lake Geneva, but that's it. Like, the Grand Geneva Resort is as big as it gets in Lake Geneva. And Luke had mentioned very early on that he had no intentions of moving it to Milwaukee at all, period, end of discussion. And now with Gary Con, he has like 2 conventions back to back. He has like and Founders, Legends and Founders, the one weekend, and then immediately following the next weekend is Gary Con. So, I mean, that's one way to do it, is break up your convention into two different events. You could do your whole show pants list. No one would even know. I would like walk off to like feed Augie or something, and then have a bad camera angle. Like, that would be the camera angle, and it would be all over from there. Surgeon's pants fall down the OSR in one time. Awkward. Yeah, he stand up with his gloves and hands like this and go, somebody help a brother out or a sister out. I was watching Dorcas's Gen Con recap. I'll have to watch that. He was so tired on Thursday night or Friday night. Oh, can't do anything. I think it was for Thursday night. Oh, I'm so tired. And then I think his co-host was like, "We're doing a video." Seminars with the old writers, designers, etc. is pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. That's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Gen Con has things to offer that other cons won't be able to, just due to the size. But to me personally, it's not the be-all, end-all for those things. Cheap Con of $70K. Target. There you go. Let me get back to the Gen Con situation. Morning, Victor. Tyler, good to see you. Comic-Con isn't about comics anymore. Is Gen Con still about games? I might go to Gary Con. They're definitely games. I think Tim Jensen or something like that said that there were 3 events on the calendar that weren't sold out, which I don't even know how you even figure that out unless you just do like open games and there's only 3 that pop up. Like the catalog of games to be played at Gen Con is crazy. So yes, it's still, I would say, about gaming. As a matter of fact, I got to give them credit. It hasn't turned into, live stream, everything is streaming, everything is cosplay. Like, it hasn't changed. It's still about gaming and games. The exhibit hall, as far as I know, is still all about the games. But yeah, Comic-Con is an interesting beast for sure. And I think Comic-Con is the beast that it is because you've got Marvel being a movie studio now. I think that's where the biggest change in that space has occurred, probably. Me being kind of ignorant to the comic book scene, but I have to imagine that's the impact there. By the way, Glass Cannon is doing a 2-shot of Deathmatch Island. Episode 1 is available. I'll have to double check that. Thank you, Reading Aid. Because I got to run that. And I saw their schedule. There was a couple things I wanted to check. I think there was one that was going to be streamed, Get in the Trunk, which is usually their Delta Green game. And then, which is interesting because Glass Cannon, I am a fan of their Delta Green actual play. And the first one that I listened to was their rendition of Impossible Landscapes because I was going to run it. I thought I'd listen to it, see how it went. And now I'm listening to the precursors of that, which is like, I kind of listen to them backwards, apparently. It's like Music Fest here in Ottawa called Blues Fest, and there are 0 blues performers there. Yeah. Well, wasn't that same with like, what was the big, there's another big music fest in the United States that's like, God, I don't remember, but it's like, Metal Fest, and then half the bands aren't really metal. I can't remember. Monsters of Rock, maybe? Stoked about Game Home. Will be my first time. Well, awesome. Good to see. We'll be looking forward to seeing you then. Don't do what Boxcar Vampire did, who is on our Discord, and literally sit at the same table as me and not say anything. It's like, what? Yeah, I'm a Boxcar Vampire. I'm like, we've been playing for 2 hours and you haven't said anything? Like, and I think I was maybe the second day of the con. I mean, granted, there's other things to do, other people to see, but don't be a stranger. Good morning, Joe. Good to see you. Comic-Con happens when you don't have the bouncer at the door doing a cred check, or when you don't use the guy in front of the Midnight Club in the Constantine movie. Yeah. San Diego is Multimedia Con. Before that, there's been so much going on for so long. It's just evolved into that monster. Question of the day. Let's do it. Very funny, Victor. Question of the day. So, Ennie Awards, I watched them last night. Victor was nice enough to be my +1 virtually, and we went over kind of who I would pick. You guys weighed in probably and hopefully voted. It's your civil duty as an RPG citizen, just so you know. So I guess the question is, with the Ennies are debated as like a popularity contest. Some question it's, what they're really about. And for most of us, we don't really get into that, drama. But some will say, well, they really don't matter, like, do they hit the bottom line? Anything like that. I think it gives some exposure to some games that I probably would never have heard of. And they certainly do a fair share of advertising. I have to believe that many of the people that are nominated and then are chosen for the winning of the gold or silver in a respected category, they have to see a bump in sales. So, having said that, out of all the list of products that were nominated, are you going to buy 1 or 2 or 3, and which ones? And if you're not, totally fine. Totally get it. Ennies might not be your thing. Totally understandable. But is there a product that you specifically saw on the Ennie Awards and you're like, the Ennie nominations, and you're like, ooh, I'm going to check into that. Ooh, it's getting some buzz. Ooh, I'm going to buy that. And I'm thinking from the Ennies, not like I knew this product, I've been meaning to buy it, then it got nominated, right? It's like you never heard it before the Ennies and you decided to. And you might not even have bought it yet. Maybe it's something like, I saw it on the Ennies and I'm thinking about buying it. Or I'm going to, I just have to wait for the next paycheck or whatever. I am a scary person, Victor. Reading aid. I'm going to pick up Outgunned. That's it. I have it. It's a wise choice. It's a good game, obviously. And Ryan, I know, I know you bought that. I did too. Not inexpensive, and I'm a little perturbed because it's like taking forever to get here. I think it's coming on Monday, but I think I ordered it last week, like early week. I'm American. Hey, chop chop. So I have that on its way. I know I'll get it. I'll read it. I don't know if I'll ever get it to the table. I don't know why I got it. And the reason it's so expensive is like it's a box set, and I think one of the books itself is like over 300 pages. So I think it's a lot of dead weight. But I've yet to buy a nominated product, but it does get them added to my should playlist because of the chatter that comes with the nominations, such as Shadowdark and Outgunned. Now, Todd, you have been nominated. Have you won? I think you've won, right? You've won at Ennie. Can you clarify or verify or confirm? You could probably do all three, but can you confirm that you did see a bump in sales from the Ennies? There's one that I want, but I've wanted it since the Kickstarter ended, and that's Carico. Okay, fair enough. Now you as the stipulation. Yeah. It might took a week, I think. You could use it for your next West Marches, Sean. Yeah, maybe. I could. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But I've won twice. See, we are graced with Ennie Award royalty. That's awesome, Todd. That's super awesome. Ennies are not my jam. I already had Shadowdark. That's fair. Yep, same as Todd. Got it. But one of them was best free game, and the other was a judge's spotlight. Still, that I suppose that would be. Did you see a bump in sales? Well, I was up for free best product. So technically, no, but definitely saw a spike in web traffic. Well, that's good. So if you had only charged, you would say yes, potentially, unless you charged $100 for like a brochure product. I will say for me, it was Outcast Silver Raiders for sure. That's the one out of all of them. Because I already had I had some of the ones. I had Shadowdark. I did not buy Shadowdark because of the Ennies. I had it before that. The Free League stuff. I don't have Dragonbane. Trying to think. I think that was the only one, and it's still probably the only one. I have to go back and check. There might be another one I want to pick up, like the Hex Toolkit or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. No ducks. Yeah, there was probably one or two I wanted to look into. But I think Outcast Silver Raiders. Oh, the Valley of Flowers. That's the one I want. That's the other one I want to get. Thanks, Shambot. To be honest, though, my interest was piqued when we went over the went over the Ennies. Yeah, somebody got that. Did somebody get it on the Discord? I think somebody did. I think on the Discord. I'm like, looks like a pretty sweet book. Shadowdark's another one I want. That's only because it's out of print when I first went to buy it. I should go check to see if it's available now. Yeah, several of us had already had it. I was kind of a late adopter. A lot of people had kickstarted it, obviously. But a lot of people had played it before it was in the hands of people. Like I don't know if Kelsey had a early PDF release or if they were just using the quick start rules, which was, I think, even available during the Kickstarter, right? Or the crowdfunding campaign. Valley of the Flowers is something I had not heard of. I'm now looking at picking it up. That'd be one. Okay. Yeah, okay. Nubis got it. That's right. Morning, RPG Exile. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Oh, you meant... a lot of people had Valley of the Flowers? I had not heard of it until literally the Ennie nominations. That doesn't really mean anything necessarily, and that's not indicative of anything. Sometimes I'm out of the loop on certain games or things that are crowdfunding. Even doing this, like, I don't know if we covered Valley of the Flowers during its crowdfunding campaign. And if it did, it was like, meh. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, that seems like an interesting product. Which is hopefully the way I go with my spending habits from here on out. Like, oh, I've heard of that. Now it's good and it's been released and everybody's got some buzz around it and it's talking about it rather than just kickstarting it and then like, mwah, mwah. Morning, William. The besmirched boxcar vampire, me, Nubis, and I didn't kickstart it. Oh. Well, so let's kick off this stuff because we're getting into that time where we need to get moving. All right. So let's get into that. Is not what I want. Oh, it's connected to the wrong button, I bet. Well, that's interesting. Yep, sure enough, I got the overlay wrong with that scene. Ah, interesting. Anyway, we're going to talk about news. touching on the news that is of today. Want to touch on the Deanna Jones Award 2024 that's given out at Gen Con. There's a bunch of nominations. It's more closed committee of industry people. And for those of you that aren't in the know, United Paizo Workers, a workers union in the RPG industry, I think the first of its kind, if I'm not mistaken, took the Deanna Jones Award. Sean, it's Diana Jones Award. Not if it's from Indiana Jones, the role-playing game, okay? So it will always be Deanna Jones to this dude. Well, that's fine, Sean, but you're still wrong. Hey, if this is being wrong, then I never want to be right, okay? So congratulations to the United Paizo Workers and Workers Union in the RPG field. There you go. Yeah. Hey, Grumpy Corn Games. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting if there was a Hall of Fame component at the end. Oh, you did not know this, Todd. Todd's already sneaking in some spoilers. So let's get to the Ennie Awards. So if you did not tune in, Ennie Awards, you can go onto their Twitter account. As a matter of fact, why don't I just do that right now? So I don't think that's what I wanted to do, but the Ennie Award website is usually like a week behind. You'll see the winners of 2024 on the website probably next week when everybody gets home from Gen Con, and they don't want to, that is not where I wanted to go. And they get back to work and update the site. However, in the meantime, you can go to the Twitter account, which I will post, and you can see all the winners of who took home Ennies. Specifically, which may or may not be to your surprise, Shadowdark had swept all its categories, winning gold for, gold for Product of the Year, Best Game, and Product of the Year, Best Game, Best Layout, I think was the other one. I don't know why I did not list all of them. And then, ironically enough, outgunned by Shadowdark and took silver in Product of the Year and Best Game. So, Bridesmaid, Never a Bride for outgunned in those categories. Other highlights of the Ennie Awards 2024, Free League took Publisher of the Year. Again. They also swept the Best Cartography category with Alien, Building Better Worlds, and Dragonbane, respectively, for gold and silver. Silver and gold. Sorry, got it swapped. And then a tie occurred for this first time in any history. I cannot even imagine what the odds are for a publicly open voting of probably 4 nominees, that there was a tie between 2 of them. So odd. And that was a tie for Best Monster and Adversary. So check that out. And then during the ceremony, going to Todd's point, they are going to be doing an Ennie Hall of Fame. So I think next year, if I'm not mistaken, is the 25th anniversary for the Ennie Awards. And Bridget was the host. If you don't know who Bridget Jeffries is, I had her on GM Mastermind, her and Caleb Stokes, which, ironically enough, Bridget was the host of Ennies, MC, I should say, of the Ennies last night. And Caleb Stokes won for God's Teeth for Delta Green. So if you want to check out their 2 contributions where I interfaced with them on GM Mastermind, we did one on suspense and horror, and they were phenomenal guests. So Bridget hosted or emceed, and they were talking about this kind of the history of the Ennies just briefly. Like it was done the first one was done in a hallway somewhere, but now they have a big venue and, the big hoop-de-doo, they stream. And so what they're going to be doing is a Hall of Fame, and I think they're going to be doing 25 inductees, and I think they're nominating or I don't know if they're nominating them or inducting them one per month leading up to the next Ennie Awards. That those details are a little fuzzy to me. You could go check it out on their YouTube channel. By the way, if you go to their YouTube channel to watch the Ennie Awards after the fact, their stream busted out shortly after the intermission. So there are 2 videos. So one from the beginning to the intermission, and then one shortly after the intermission tanked to the end. So they are going to take, and it's going to be products. It's not going to be people, apparently, and they're going to consider products from before the Ennies were established. So probably some individuals that didn't get, like, I could see, like, Massive Nyarlathotep being like this pinnacle product for a campaign being inducted, or Pendragon because of the design hype design cred that it gets and recognized for by other designers and players of RPGs, by Greg Stafford. I don't know. It's things of that nature. What else about the Ennies? Eat the Reich sweeps the art categories for gold and in best interior and cover art. And then it also won for best adventure short form. So Eat the Reich got quite a bit of exposure there. So there you go. A little bit about the Ennies. There's many congratulations to all the winners and all the nominations. Just because you might not have won, as Bridget put it out in the ceremony that she emceed last night, you had an idea, you executed on it, you got it out and released it, and you submitted it. Like, those things are accomplishments in and of themselves. So it's not easy to do for many of us. So Wolfgang Bauer was taking photos and sharing them on Blue Sky. Oh, very excellent. Yeah. Best rules. That's what it was. Best rules for Shadowdark. Product of the year, best game, best rules. Thanks, Shambot. Looking forward to an Ennie in 2025. Well, for what, though? Kevin Salthart from Saltlandia. Good to see you. I could see Kevin being there. He'll probably have to record his video, and then he'll have the same video played, but just with the different, hey, thank you. Or they'll just replay the same one. Thank you for this award. We really appreciate it. And it'll be for Burn 2D6, Smurfs, Analytic Dice. What else? Probably tons of other stuff that we're not even sure or even is out yet. Laramie, how do you pronounce that? And I say Tarask, and then I say, so I'm kind of torn on the bullet. I know it's supposed to be boulet, but I don't know. There you go. Get into it, reading aid. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay, guys? All right? Good to see you, Aaron. They did say some key items from years past will get inducted first. Yes. Hey, good to see you, Wayne. Heard hit like and subscribe. Yes, please. Thank you, Shambot. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike, and unsubscribe if you'd like. Tell somebody else about this goofy thing. I don't know. Share it somewhere. Yeah, the world needs more Bridget, for sure. And it's Bridget with 2 T's, just so you know, Victor. All right. Okay, all righty. So that's the Ennies. This was an interesting podcast I wanted to bring up. I stumbled along on Rascal. When we were wizards. So we know that in RPGlandia there is actual play podcasts. There are commentary podcasts, Commentary is what probably Gaming and BS, and I would say Analytic Dice, and Nerds RPG Variety Cast. Some of those fall into. This one is a 14-episode documentary podcast that takes a journalistic approach to explore the human flaws that drove the turbulent history behind D&D and TSR. So if you've read a lot of the books, I'm going to guess a lot of that content's going to be in this podcast. But if you haven't, and you're just interested in hearing and listening to it, it's told in the voices of those who lived through it. So W4 charts the rise and fall of Gary Gygax, covering everything from the inception of the game, the Satanic Panic, Gary's Hollywood excesses, which will be an interesting one because I think that gets, that's... When you have a bunch of fans writing the books, there's a certain angle, in my opinion, so it happens. And the incredible 1985 boardroom coup that cost Gary the game itself. Cost him the game and the company. Featuring interviews with Gary's ex-wife, 2 children, employees, friends, and partners. W4 is a sweeping tale of ambition, greed, corporate chaos, and the price of fame. It is such an interesting story. I know many of us know it. If you haven't, it's just, Of Dice and Men is a good book. It is some of the rocket growth that company had experienced, and the utter downfall of such a monolith in the RPG hobby is just crazy. I think it would make a good movie like... What is it? What is the movie? What is it? Oh my goodness. It's like the 70s movie. I can't remember. It's American something. Slaying the Dragon. Yeah. It's just that. It's like the movie Blow. It's like, whoop, The show is co-produced and co-hosted by D&D historian Paul Stormberg, one of the world's top collectors of RPG history and memorabilia. Has penned numerous articles, given dozens of interviews, and widely acknowledged as one of the foremost authorities on the history of D&D and TSR. Deep dive challenges assumptions about Gary and humanizes figures that have long been regarded as villains. For any gamer who doesn't know this history, W4 is essential listening. For anyone who thinks they know it, we promise you don't know it like this. Never before has this tale included so many astounding insights, discoveries, heart-wrenching recollections, and stunning revelations. Well, there you go. I just know that the human person is flawed, and sometimes we don't see that in some of these tales. So, just saying. Mirko, what? Mirko, what are you doing here, buddy? Just dropping in for a few minutes before I go mudding, dude. Don't tip over, buddy. Hey, remember, rubber side down. They made a movie about the Pop-Tart. They could make this. That's a good point, for sure. I'm also caught up with When We Were Wizards. Fills a lot of gaps I had from the books. This is a no-hold-barred story. Yeah. American Werewolf in London, maybe? Not that one. It's, she won I think she won an Emmy for it. American, what is it? Oh, God, what is her name? Dude, it's terrible. It's, who is that? I'm going to find it right now because it's going to drive me crazy, and I know I can do it pretty quickly. So... No, that's not it. Okay, so here's how Sean's brain's thinking. Jennifer Lawrence is in it, right? American Hustle. There you go. American Hustle. Someone needs to write a what if book, like the comic book. What if Gary Gygax kept TSR? Well, apparently, some may consider that if he kept TSR, Castles and Crusades would have been like 3rd edition, right? The Siege Engine, maybe? That's what I've heard has been touted. Like that would have been inevitably the third edition of D&D. I don't know if that would have been true. Hard to say. On the topic of gaming history, I strongly recommend the documentary Secrets of Blackmore. I'm glad you pointed that out, Grumpy Corn Games. That's on, I think you can get that on Prime, if you have Prime, Amazon Prime, for free. So yeah, if you, did I not put it in the chat, Ryan West? Dang it, dude, I said that movie last week. A movie from the 70s, not taking place in the 70s. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, Secrets of Blackmore. Should check it out. I have not seen it. I need to see that. You know, poor Dave kind of gets shuffled to the side and kicked to the side. I'm going to check that out. There's the art one, too. Check out the art one. That's another one, too. That's a good one. Yeah, there, Todd just mentioned it. Whoops. I'm sure Trollord wants that to be true. Could be, right? Yeah, I know. Eye of the Beholder. Grumpy. I said, did I say Grumpy Con Games? Grumpy Corn Games. Eye of the Beholder. That's the art one about TSR and D&D World of Art. It's a good one. Yeah. Grumpy Corn Games bringing it. All right. Let's see. What else? Moving on. Still in the news, folks. Hang in there. Roll20 introduces Discord integration. Will support D's and D's, Dune, Cyberpunk Red, and more. And more. A pivotal moment for the hobby, quote, for the hobby. Pivotal moment for the hobby, quote unquote. I have not seen this. We could probably do it on our Discord. Roll20, maker of virtual tabletop role-playing tools, has released a new integration with Discord that aims to make remote game nights more convenient. So you can do it as an activity, gaining access to all the usual role-playing tools their platform provides, including interactive maps, character sheets, simulated dice rolling, drag and drop, rule books, and more. And I gotta say, probably makes pretty good sense considering Roll20's huge shortcoming has always been, in my humble opinion and experiences, video and audio. I don't know how many people have already been doing this for years. What are you going to do? We're going to use Roll20 for character sheets, dice roller, maps, handouts, things of that nature. But we're going to do audio and video and using Discord. Like, somebody's like, hey, you know. So that's cool. I have not checked it out. If anybody has their own personal Discord server that's like, yep, I got it all set up. It runs slick as snot, then let me know. Next up, Dragonlance Chronicles Omnibus, coming February 2025. So some of us have fond memories of the Dragonlance. We've talked about this one. The new books were coming out. We talked about this one, the Dragonlance. Supplement was coming out for 5th edition, reminiscing about the old Dragonlance and the big library and Weiss and Hickman. Joe Manganiello, big fan, of course. He's going to be writing the foreword, which big shock, right? He's a super fan. So this is the Chronicles, right? So it's the first 3 books: Dragons of Autumn, Autumn Twilight, Spring Dawning, and Winter something, right? Winter stuff, right? Fall, winter, spring. Summer. There's one for summer, but it's not part of the Chronicles. So the hardcover comes out February 4th, 2025 for 35 bones from Penguin Random House. Some might say that it didn't age very well. Your mileage may vary. There you go. Some are not fans, and that's okay. There's something else for you somewhere else. That's all I had for news. Now we could go into print news, which is obviously like screwed up on here. Now watch it. Yeah, I got print news twice. Awesome. Dragons and Winter stuff. Yeah, perfect. You know the deal, Nermy. Nice job. Oh, I should probably put in, hey, where's the links, dude? Whoops, that is not what I wanted. Oh, and the Roll20 integration. Boom. There you go. Right. So this one was interesting. I don't know if anybody... Flint said... Clearly I'm a fan. Well, you were in him. Fight on. So apparently, anybody used to get this? Gotta reach back. Fight on. You can get it in print on Lulu, paperback. It costs you $6.99 USD. 10 years later, we are back from the dead. 10 years. So they're back on. These Revenant runes are just as jam-packed as you remember, with classes, monsters, spells, magic items, rules, mods, homebrews, and awesome adventures in the spirit of the Eldritch era of fantasy role-playing. Dedicated to 70s D&D legend J. Eric Holmes. This issue brings together old and new stalwarts alike to celebrate our 15th issue and new beginning. So welcome back, Fight On, number 15, with art and articles by J. Eric and Christopher Holmes, Tom Gordon, Calathina, Gabor Lux, Jeff Reince, James Malashevsky, Kesher, Pete Mullen, Cameron Hockey, Zach Howard, Alex Schroeder, Richard Rittenhouse, Setin Brini, Patrick Farley, Jason Schultes, Robert Conley, Calvin Green, a lot of contributors. Philip H. Atronarch, Mitzi, and many more. This is the first of our new forays into fanzine fame and glory. Ride that wyvern while the sun is shining and keep fighting on. So there you go. Fight on. Anybody got any issues from Fight On in the past? You have aged fantastically. Still afraid of boats, I see. All right. Next up, Chaosium. Basic role-playing. So coming in November, Basic Role-Playing Game Master Pack. So if you liked BRP, as it is affectionately known as, then you may want to pick this up. It's a Game Master screen, 3-panel landscape screen adorned with gorgeous art on the exterior and the internal panels, laden with tables, references, and summaries of the most common rules in the BRP game. It also has a 28-page softcover booklet filled with concise rules information from the Basic Role-Playing Universal Game Engine Core Book. So that's nice. Like, boil it down, you know. That's what I like about the Free League starter sets. Like, in many of their starter sets, like, you get the full rules in a very thin booklet. So easier to reference. Taking out all the fluff. So there you go. If you are interested in that, mark your calendars. We'll see if Ian World has anything else to add that we haven't covered. Castles and Crusades has a couple releases in print. Looks like Fields of Battle and the Sword of Rami. DCC. Goodman Games Return of the Starless Sea, which has been buzzed previously on here, I believe, and Gods of the Earth. So Sailors on the Starless Sea, infamous zero-level funnel for DCC. If you haven't played it or run it, what are you doing? Especially if you're a Goodman Games fan and DCC fan. So Return to the Starless Sea takes the PCs from 0 level to 1st level. Long ago, would-be heroes entered the Chaos Lord's keep to end an ominous threat, but left their task unfinished. There you go. And that one's going to be a hardback, just so you know. Gods, Blood and Thunder, not Gods of Thunder, Gods of Thunder and Rock and Roll. Blood and Thunder, the Ultimate Book of Mighty Deeds by Mart's Press. So it's for DCC. It contains over 151 mighty deeds of arms, torn straight from the bloody pages of Appendix N literature for use by PCs as they quest for gold and glory. So if you're not familiar with DCC and this kind of component, Dungeon Crawl Classics has no... They don't have any supplements. As far as I know, no supplements. Like core book, and then the rest are adventures. There's like books on how to write good adventures, but there was a very calculated, like, we're not going to release a bunch of splat books and things of that nature. Now, it never said third parties can't do it. This is case in point. The Mighty Deeds is a mechanic for the fighter class primarily, and you get a Mighty Deed die, and when you roll, you also roll your Mighty Deed die, and that also helps accomplish what you're trying to do. And Mighty Deeds in DCC is very much made up by the player playing the fighter type. So it's very much a kind of a very similar to feats, but you make it up on the fly. And it's, the Mighty Deed die is the piece of this. So this, if people have, maybe some trouble coming up with original crazy things. So a Mighty Deed might be, I'm riding on my horse and I'm you're in pursuit of another person on another horse. And maybe you want to take your sword, and instead of hitting the person, you want to swipe at their saddle strap to dismount them from their steed, if you will. While you're flying down a path, maybe you're even riding backwards, something crazy. And then, before the cliff, you want to grab a vine and swing up. Like that sounds like a Mighty Deed, right? There is an annual for DCC. There is. Is it? Well, yeah, okay. There is. Good to know. Just one annual. That's it. Okay. The Joseph caved. They need more DCC. We'll put out an annual. Anyways, moving on. Next up, more DCC. It's the DCC Day print news. Sorceress Rites of the Elements, Pervasive Corruption, The Bagbearer, and the Protectorate of Genulain by Breaker Press. The system is DCC, RPG, Hillwood, Character Creation Guide, Stenard Senig. So there is, I'm not going to read all this. That's all the stuff that you can use. So some of this is 2 DCCs and 2 of Hillwood, I think, right? That Stenard setting. So what I'm kind of deciphering from that. Feats, but better for the creative player. Yes, so much better. Exactly. So it's a good reference book for people that probably want some good inspiration on Mighty Deeds, but not necessary. Because, come on, you got to do, it's for the fantastical. Which is kind of an interesting beast, because what if I was the thief and I wanted to do that? Well, can you do it? You can still do it in DCC, you just are better at it when you're a fighter. All right, man. All right. Okay. Let's do, excuse me. Let's do bundles. Bundles. I think there's 1. 2. Come on, you. Okay, this is really making me mad here. So I don't have the link. Let's try this again. There. Jeez. Streaming is hard. It's hard work. Right? After I banged on the Ennie Awards for tanking out their stream last night. Doctor Who Doctor what? Doctor where? Doctor why? Doctor who? Ultimate RPG collection. If you're interested and you're a Whovian, you know, this is kind of a no-brainer. 45 items for like $30. Probably even just a few pennies less. Charity proceeds go to BBC Children in Need. There you go. I think that's a worthy... Everybody wins. Everybody wins. You get cool game stuff. There's a sliver that goes to the publisher, probably a sliver that goes to the Humble Bundle, and a sliver that goes to charity. There you go. Lots of stuff. Cranking it out. Cubicle 7. Plus a 20% off at Cubicle 7. Get it while it's hot. Hot, 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 hot. The other one. Okay, now this is really just annoying me here. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. Free League. So this is the Free League Immersive RPG bundle for Alchemy. Yes, I'm a fan of Free League. No, I did not get it on this bundle. I don't use Alchemy, but I guess I could because I could probably get all this stuff for a reasonable price, like $35. I think it's asking for 50 items. Crikey. There's a lot. Look at all the Forbidden Land stuff. Ooh. Munir Zero. Ooh. Simrumu. Vaesen. It's good stuff, man. Look at that. I mean, proceeds go to direct relief. So, there you go, if you're interested. If you haven't seen it. This one, I don't know, when do these end? Oh, this ends in 16 days from now, which is August 3rd. I'm streaming this. So if it's past that 16 days, the 19th, the 20th, then you're SOL. The other one, what was that? The other one for the Who, the Doctor of Who's, ends the same days. 14 days, sorry. 14 days for the Who. So you know. Yeah. Pretty much their entire catalog is on Alchemy. You're right, Harrigan. So the big push for Alchemy, I guess. Isn't Humble going out of business or something? Am I totally making that up? I have not heard that. Let me know if you find out where you've heard it. Does not have Blood and Thunder. Ryan might consider as a cheap PDF. Let's see. Let's do crowdfunding, print news, RPG news. What did I miss? Bundles, print news, crowdfunding, right? Oh, interesting. Mirko, still here. Humble Games is their game dev arm, not bundle. Oh, interesting. Humble has shut down one of their branches, the game dev branch, Nubis says. Okay. I got to imagine the bundles for RPGs sell like hotcakes. I just don't know how profitable it is. I don't know how much once you have the website in place, payment processing, I don't know how much labor it takes to hook up a bundle. Laramie, I think what they're talking about is they do put out game bundles, like video game bundles, right? Or video game books. I think that's Humble Bundle, right? Humble Bundle. There's two bundle holding. See, RPG crowdfunding. Ian World. So again, Ian World always puts down, includes campaigns ending between August 8th and 14th. in this particular instance. To the 14th, okay, I forgot what date it is. So you got like a week or two from the recording of this live stream. All right, Iron Kingdom Strange Light Workshop 5e from Steamforged Games. So it's a 5e book for Iron Kingdoms. It's funded. Like, there's got to be a huge percentage of 5e stuff that's just funded. There's got to be like huge. Valegrave by the creators of The Spine of Night, Morgan King and Philip Gillot. Compatible with Merc Bori. Funded in 5 minutes. Art minis by Justin Soroyas. Cover by Mark Riddick. It's an adventure for 35 bones. Had a $1,000 goal. It's at $14K. Chaldea Gazetteer. So Chaldea is Peter Atkinson's venture and world. He often talks about it at different conventions and things of that nature, and Gen Con TV, amongst other things. Oh, so this is one of those Moonbeam collection things. So So Moonbeam is trying to become a Twitch alternative with some robust or better, different moderation tools. And then in their backer kit campaign, they have these sub campaigns or partner campaigns. So this is one of those. Evil Hat isn't on a partner campaign. Monty Cook Games isn't on a partner campaign. So here is Gen Con TV, Peter Atkinson's thing. So this is most popular pledge is 100 bones for multiple digital maps. Wow-wee, wow-wah. Yeah. And since it's on backer kit, it doesn't have like whether it's been funded or not. But let's just take a look. So it's a $1,000 goal, and it's at 2,700. So it's been funded. 55 backers, 6 days left. Like 55 backers. Isn't that crazy? Like this guy's like used to run Wizards of the Coast. Like he owned Gen Con. And he comes out with Chaldea and this Gazetteer. And it's like 55 people. What? Crazy. Is that nutty? Is it kind of a little nutty? Next one, Anywhere Door Community Hub for Monty Cook's games. So this is another, there's the Moonbeam one for Monty Cook. So it must be the end of these Moonbeam campaigns that are coming out. So there you go. Next one, this is the Evil Hat one. So they're going to be doing like, so their most popular pledge for Monty Cook games is $10 for early access to the Anywhere Door. And then Dice Pool, the one that Evil Hat's going to be doing on Moonbeam, is $10, the most popular pledge. And they're going to be doing different streams featuring GM advice to improve your blades in the dark, Monster of the Week, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and Fate games that they have and produce. So there you go. Next one, The King in Yellow 5-Act Storytelling Horror RPG by Jason Bowers. Resistance Toolbox by Grant Howitt and Chris Taylor is the game system. It's a core rulebook. $50 is the most popular pledge. You play as unreliable narrators who believe they are cosmic royalty. You're searching for the yellow sign, probably. But you can't be sure if you or the other characters are real, sane, can be trusted, or all of the above. It's a little short with 5 days to go. Ooh. Next one, High Level Adventures. 5 exciting adventures for 5e by EN World. And if this is an EN World one, it's probably the bottom of this list. The end of the list. Funded, 1,000 quid goal at 7,500. Nope, it's not the last one this week. First time in a long time. Next one is by Philip Reed. He puts out good stuff. Very like kind of quick, dirty, easy, no stretch goals. This is what it's going to be. I'm going to put it out. Bang, bang, boom. Low funding goals. He does good work. I've gotten a couple of Philip's stuff. As a matter of fact, I have Hex Deck is one of his. Probably can't see it because it's small. This one, kind of cool. So he puts out some stuff that I think is pretty decent. Powered by Perilous Pamphlets and Pamphlet Palooza. It's for Merkborry and OSE, these things. So 2 new brochure adventures, storage box for fantasy RPG brochure adventures. I mean, he's like, I think every couple weeks he's got a new campaign, it seems. And he delivers and he's consistent. Like, I give Philip quite a lot of props for doing what he's doing. They're not these grandiose, 500-page hardbound books. It's good, useful stuff. I think he puts out. I like. So he's got that funded. Was at $3,000 goal. It's got funded 6. Fantasy Grind for OSE. Powered by Perilous Pamphlets and Pamphlet Palooza. So this must be the campaign that's going on, right? The Powered Perilous Pamphlets and Pamphlet Palooza. It's kind of like zine month or whatever. So this is for 5e and OSE. Funded. And like I think these are ended now. Yep. Whoops. Hey man, slow down, dude. What are you doing? Next one. Opera. It is for Cybory. No, it's Cyborg. Powered by the Paris Pamphlets, Pamphlet Palooza. 7 US Canadian dollars. So us Americans, it's like almost free. Just kidding, kids. Just kidding. Respect that Canadian dollar, damn it. That's funded. EGG, Flames and Flails, first adventure game. Fiery, not first, fiery. Designed for OSE. This is by Egg Embry Publishing. So Egg does a lot of articles on EN World. As a matter of fact, he probably wrote this right up. All these, like, for crowdfunding on EN World. So Flames and Flails is his one-shot setting where the magic is fire. Your foes bring the heat, and the characters get burned. Hey, I see a theme going on. It's funded. There you go. There you go. You put a link in the doobly-doo. Let's see. What's going on? What's going on, Who's? Is that the current article? Many of those dates are past. It is the current. Some of them have passed, but it is the current one. Pretty sure I got the current one. Did I not? Did I get last week's? Let me see. Pretty sure I got the most latest print news. Print news. I don't. Here it is. Yeah. Was posted on Wednesday. Yeah, it's the most recent. Maybe because of Gen Con, I don't know, maybe they got behind and whatever, but they also sell William, they also sell video games, the Humble Bundle conversation. Yeah. Duty calls. See ya, Todd. If you're still here. Ciao. Thanks for showing up, buddy. I think maybe not everyone feels a need for one more setting. Well, some would beg to differ, buddy. Okay, Humble Games only published and funded some indie devs. They didn't develop any games from what I can see. That's probably it. If Sean goes over to Moonbeam, I might check it out. Otherwise, I really don't need another streaming platform. I have thoughts on Moonbeam. I think they haven't. Like I said, they haven't. I talked to Eric Frankhouse at length on this thing. He has got some strong opinions. He has dug into that stuff. My biggest thing is like you're catering to such a small niche in the whole grand scheme of things. Like you take the RPG hobby, and we're pretty small compared to like video games. And Twitch has a lot of video gamers on there, and amongst other things, and Twitch isn't even really that, like profitable. They've struggled with being profitable, and they've changed all kinds of stuff to make it happen. So you take that and you're like, okay, let's go to the RPG scene. So there's the big world of RPGs. Great. Oh, now it's not just RPGs, the whole, like everybody. It's RPGers that stream, and then folks that tune into those streams, which is like, now, having said that, but Sean, there's like Critical Role. They're like the biggest earner on Twitch, like back in the day when everybody found out what the top people were making. They made like $9 million on Twitch. Yes, they are the exception. Like, I'm not making $9 million. I'm not even making $90 probably. So we'll see. I mean, I think they're going to be funded. They've got some people that want to see it happen. I think it's I think people are like, yes, Evil Hat, Monty Cook Games, they read what they read. They got pitched what they got pitched, and they're like, yes, this is great. It's no risk to them, because if the platform never... My only concern with their crowdfunders is what happens if it never gets, like, the platform never gets off the ground. But I think Moonbeam is actually funded, if I'm not mistaken. So... Now, having said that, there's a difference between being funded and, putting it out there, right? I mean, it can definitely fund and then never see the light of day. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Of course, they've got everything locked up for that to move forward and get out to the public. So we'll see. I don't. And then the other thing with live streaming platforms, and Twitch has had this issue all the time, and that's why some people move over to YouTube, is discoverability. Twitch is terrible at discoverability. Like, if I went over there and live streamed, you guys would come over there and that would be it. At least here, yes, I could take that live stream, it records it, I could put that on, and it'll stay up on video on demand for like a limited time on Twitch. But nobody on Twitch goes to like, oh, let me go see what everything else was recorded previously, because they're going there to see live stuff. I've never gone over there and said, oh, I love watching this actual play. It's got to be on Twitch. And I didn't watch it live. So here, at least, as people stream, especially when I'm doing long form, right? Like, YouTube loves long form. They love putting in like multiple ads in an hour. And you folks, I don't turn that on. I could, but I don't, because I don't want to ruin this experience. And you guys would probably bail if I put ads on this live stream. The folks, as soon as I get done hitting stream, I turn on ads. So, but, as people scroll through, if they've liked this or something tangential, it'll probably come up in their recommended list. I don't think that's happening on Twitch. So that's another component that I do like how they are going to allow creators to kind of like, if you have a cast and you have money and you have coming in, you can allocate percentages to the different people involved in your project, right? Within the platform, which makes it pretty easy to manage that way. And then, of course, the moderation tool is really the flagship thing that they're really touting, which, who knows? Maybe they launch it and they sell it, and they sell the moderation tool. And whoever buys kind of the thing shuts down the streaming thing. I don't know. Just loaded up Roll20 Discord integration to view our Against the Dark Master campaign. Looks pretty nice. We'll have to see how it plays. We do have some investment in Foundry and Forge. I'm with you, Kevin. I'm interested in checking it out like yourself. I would like to do that on the Beaslandia Discord. People can take advantage of that. I don't think you have to install anything. It's an activity, so it just probably ties into somebody's account. Grumpy Corn Games are regarding the 55 backers. Why do you think that is? So Grumpy Corn Games is referencing Peter Atkinson's Caldera crowdfunding campaign with only 55 backers. Well, in Peter's defense, I would not tout him as big streamer guy. He's not doing which is not totally true because he does stream on Gen Con TV. I also don't think people know who Peter Atkinson is. Another thing is, people may not even care who he is, even if they do know who, like, have heard the name. Peter was involved with the acquisition of TSR, and he oversaw. I mean, he was the CEO of Wizards of the Coast when they had Magic the Gathering. Very nice guy, very interesting dude. I also don't think he is like he's the business guy, obviously, and he's done well for himself. I don't know how involved he is with Gen Con anymore, like day-to-day operations. I think he is probably on the board of directors. He comes to Gamehole Con. He's very approachable. Not a bad thing to say about Peter, but going to his crowdfunding campaign, I don't know why it's only 55 people. Maybe it's just not getting the exposure. Maybe he doesn't like promote himself enough, which may be also a very, like, some people find that, yes, that's, I mean, I don't like self-aggrandizement and all this other stuff. So, my guess is probably a lot of people don't even know about it. So, and I don't know, I think he does like a dedicated thing where he talks about Caldera on Gen Con TV, but it's Gen Con TV. So it's not Peter Atkinson's channel, or, I'm garnering a following through that. And I also don't think he's not like putting out RPG products every year or 2 years or 10 years. Maybe he is, and I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong. He is, and Sean just doesn't know about it. So I just scratch my head because, like, dude, you could easily put Caldera on every piece of Gen Con material you ever put out there. The website, any badge, any banner. Like, it wouldn't cost him a dime, I would imagine, other than taking up space that Gen Con could make from other sponsors or contributors to Gen Con. And maybe he chooses not to for a particular reason. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, whoa, I am way behind. Sorry, guys. Let's see. You're wrong. Oh boy, who's that guy? You're wrong. Good times. What's up, Hobbsy? Hilarious. I didn't say no one wants another Senate. I said not everyone. Oh, whatever. Okay, fair. Funding and success can be two very different things. Victor, the voice of reason, indeed. Is Glass Cannon going to Moonbeam? That is a good question. I don't know. I think even with Critical Role, they're not offering like a sub project, but I heard that there is interest from them. I heard, but I don't know. I can't confirm that. I haven't read it. I've heard it word of mouth. I don't know if they would dump Twitch for Moonbeam exclusively. But I also know that they aren't doing a lot of live. Like, they're putting out their scheduled stream, but I think they started recording and then putting it on Twitch. I'll definitely browse Moonbeam once it comes out. So will I. If it comes out. Later, Mirko. Good to see you, man. Love that guy. Need more Mirko in my life. Gabe Dibbing. Kevin is now pushing me to use Roll20 for VSD. Hey Gabe, if you're a Foundry guy and you're deep rooted in that, it's your game, man. You keep under that forge. Rumble's a great platform, and people do stream tabletop over there. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Like, there's Rumble. That's another one. I mean, there's options, but there's some that have never done well. Like, was it Kick? Ustream's gone. What else? I can't remember the Microsoft one, right? I didn't know who he was. You didn't know who Peter was? Down with Foundry. Hobbsy's a Roll20 guy. I got to say this. You get into a VTT and you know how it works and you know like how to whip through things quickly. It does kind of become your de facto. It's like a lot of software. Once you learn it, you don't want to learn anything else. So I use Roll20 and enjoy it. Yeah, I think they're finally starting to do things with it. Like for a long time, it didn't. Like there wasn't much being done with it. So it's good to see. And maybe it's since OBS and they merged. I don't know. Great VSDM character sheet in Roll20 better than Forge. Whoa, shots fired. Any Fantasy Grounds? Fantasy Grounds just released something, right? I think something came up with Fantasy Grounds recently. I saw Fantasy Grounds. And, I have my own Fantasy Grounds. Something. Where is their news, maybe? Forum Sport. They don't have... I thought they... Yeah, they've got some new properties, which I did not know they have. Like, I didn't know they had some of the Free League stuff here. They just got something, and they put it out there and like, hey, we got this, and it's going to be great. Adam Branford is now over there, and I think... That guy's going to... Fantasy Grounds is one to watch. For sure. D&D. Anybody going to get the new D&D? Anybody? Anybody going to pick up the Player's Handbook? It's now kind of like out in the open. People are starting to talk about it. There's talks about the entire Greyhawk campaign being in the Dungeon Master's Guide for the new D&D that's coming out. Whatever that may be. Whatever they call it. I'm over here using Fantasy Grounds because Sean says it's what I'm proficient in. There you go. Well, Roll20 had it up their game with D&D Beyond and a VTT on the horizon. Indeed. Yeah, the week after he was hired, they revamped their website. I can just imagine that conversation. Like, oh, Fantasy Grounds? Yeah, let's talk. Okay, well... I want some creative control. Yeah, no, hey, whatever it takes, man. You built like D&D Beyond and, you sold it to fandom and you stayed on and then got sold to, Wizards of the Coast and then you did Deme Plane. Like, yeah, man, like whatever you want. Ryan West to the D&D says, nope, I'm good. I feel like this is 3-0 to 3-5. Oh, new D&D, I didn't pick up the last D&D or the one before that or the one before that or the one before that. Laramie. See, Laramie is not their target audience. New D&D, probably not, Victor says. We'll see how kind of like a slow sale. It may not be a slow sale. It may rocket and then kind of a plateau. But I'm interested to hear how it goes. I don't know. There's more curiosity in my brain. I'm not interested in some of the quick hits that have been put out there. Like, hey, there's like 35 different species options. I'm like, I don't want 35 species options. Never say never, but D&D is not on my list. 100%, not shitting on it. You nailed it. I'm just not their target audience. Yeah, and that's fair. That's all right. There is a mild curiosity. I think just me to know what it is probably like, the only thing is like, I talked to another person I was chatting with and there hasn't been a lot of talk about mechanics. like the new changes in the mechanic pieces. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Well, Sean, you're not tuning in the D&D space. How the hell would you know that? Fair. Flint says I might on the fence. Yeah. I should ask my son if his 5e group of mostly college friends even knows about it. I am interested to know that, Harrigan. Like with the younger crowd that is very tied into the 5e ecosystem and kind of tuned into that, what their thoughts are. Like, are they going to move to that? Because I think as we get a little older and we have more disposable income and we buy more games or get exposed to more games, but I do not think, I firmly believe D&D will still be a hit. Will it be as big a hit as 5e? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Ryan says, I'm curious if they include monster manual entry for Pinkertons. Hey-o, shots fired. Mike Shea's comment as to why he likes it is amusing. They fixed his problem with Heroes Feast. Really? I'm interested also with guys like Mike, because, man, that guy is 5e, but he's also done previous editions. But 5e's been around for so long, so does Mike make the leap and jump? Like, I think he probably will, and he'll love it, and he'll just, now it's D&D, like Mike's D&D guy. I know he's played other games, but still. I might pick it up years later if I have people interested in playing it. I'm heading out to play in a 5e game today, and I will broach the subject if anyone else does. Please. Some of those, like those adventure leaguers, they will probably, D&D. No, going into the new books. Here's a new AL, your new campaign. Cynical perspective. It increases crunch in ways that are designed to send people to subscription services. It's going digital. This, like many people will say that this is the last D&D version of core books you'll ever be able to buy in physical format. Got my nephew into D&D, and he's 21 and aware of the new version. There you go. Testimonial. Is he going to buy it? Bob Worldbuilder has a couple episodes on 2024 D&D mechanics. Oh, that's good to know. Check out Bob. My son's group are a bunch of board game players who also play 5e, but they do run campaigns, so the DM might be plugged in. There we go. Little insight. I talked to my source, my 16-year-old the other day, and he gave me the lowdown. I've been, I got a source. I feel like Mike loves D&D. Doesn't matter the version. Yeah, that's great, right? Mike likes some of it. He'll play it he'll play in a while when he has time on his docket. Yeah, I'd be interested if these are the last books prophecy will come true, dude. All the hires that they've made, like even just recently, since Cynthia Williams had left, like it's digital, baby. Digital. The guy from Blizzard is going to be running it. Dude. D&D future OSR game, D&D offline. Hey-o. Mike's very into Shadowdark at the moment. Good choice, Mike. The last D&D. New D&D is starting off quite popular among professional GMs. That surprised me a bit. They often, but not always, tend to be averse to things like that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I think it'll do well. Define that any way you want. It'll do well. I am interested in taking a look at it. If it's at Gamehole Con, I will pick it up. I will leaf through it. But I think Shadowdark's the way to go. Shadowdark, like, that should be a question of the day next week. What is your D&D? What is your D&D? I played Shadowdark for a bit, but not sure what happened to that group. Oh my goodness. Who is that? I feel I'm being stared at. For the general help of the hobby, I hope it does well. Yeah. I still think it's going to be D&D, video games, role-playing games. D&D is going to be its own thing. I still, to this day, say I play D&D. So just for you, in case you might find this surprising, but I'm doing a lot of video calls and with a lot of clients and I do recruiting. So, and technical recruiting. So a lot of people I know, in that space have played D&D, played role-playing games or whatever. And recently I used this setup for my meetings, and I don't blur the background. I don't put in a virtual one. It's this. And so every once in a while I'll get somebody like, oh, nice background, or, oh, yeah, or they'll see my LinkedIn profile where I tell people I'm a game master. It's like, oh, I talked to you because you're a game master or whatever. Yeah, I've had that happen. And where am I going with this? They'll say, oh, you're a gamer or whatever, or I'll say I'm a gamer and I play online, or I stream. I did a podcast. So the conversation is this: like, Sean, get your shit together. Conversation is like, whoa, look at that setup. Oh, you look like a radio announcer, podcaster, or something. I'm like, yep, I did a podcast for a few years, and what was it about? Role-playing games. Like, oh, role-playing games. Oh, I'm like, yep, I'm uber nerd. I tell them but like D&D, because of course somebody, like video games. Oh, my son plays Call of Duty. Like, nope. Been watching the reviews for the new D&D version. Seems like the trend towards ever so more powerful PCs and making it a little more difficult to GM has continued. DCC, WB, FMJ, was it White Box Fantasy? I can't remember what all that acronym means. Swords and Wizardry Complete, Shadowdark, to be honest. TBH, to be honest. This is the Black Hack, because I know Harrigan. The Black Hack, so many, no need to choose one. That's right. If I say role-playing games, people think I'm into something kinky. I agree something D&D is like Kleenex. Yeah, like I role-play. Unless you're in, like, I don't know. What else do they play role-play? Like, let's role-play this for a second. We did it I'm a staffing guy, so we role-play in staff. Let's role-play this. The next time my boss says to role-play something, yeah, they're in for a surprise. All right. Oh, we're going to do this? Oh, okay. Sweet. All right. Let's hold on a second. All right. Okay, 87. I leap forward towards the client and pitch them a new solution. There it is. White Box Fantastic Medieval Adventure Game. Thank you, sir. Get off. It's full of ducks. All right. It's been fun. It's been wild, but it hasn't been fun and wild. It's been fun. It's been wild, but it hasn't been wet and wild. D100. Oh my goodness. It's all hard. I heard that. I heard the new D&D 2024 Player's Handbook is very readable and friendly, unlike its predecessor. Hey, we should make it a thing, a meme, where whenever we talk about the newer version of D&D, it has to be, you have to start with "I heard," and it has to be in a whisper. Moving forward, that's what I'm going to do. Anything. I heard. Did you hear? I heard they have over a gazillion species that you can choose from, and you can never die. I heard it's like Baron von Munchausen, the D&D game. Yes, that's right. Like Batman slapping Robin meme, something like that. But a hand up to your mouth too. Oh yeah, full effect. I heard that D&D's going to be celebrating 50 years this year, and they're going to put a player's handbook out. Like, and it's like it's even public stuff. Like, hey, I heard the Dungeon Master's Guide has the entire Greyhawk setting inside it. Psst. Hey, Shambot, I heard that as well. Oh, man. Oh, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Whoa. So wrap this sucker up. Went over, had a little extra time, I guess. Whatever. I could have ended it 20 minutes ago, but hey, I love talking to you guys. What can I say? There is one. Salt Heart, if you can find it. Thank you, everybody. These are some of the folks that have been gracious enough to throw me a few shillings each month. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for showing up and keeping me company on this Saturday morning. I very much appreciate seeing each and every one of you. Thank you. And some of you that I haven't seen in a while, or maybe ever. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Oh, knocked myself out. I stream every Saturday here at 8 a.m. Central Time, U.S. I'll be here next week. Yeah. Be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. If you want more of some of the people that are in the chat, you want to talk about games and gaming and all that stuff, RPGs specifically, hop on over to the Discord. I think there's a link below. We can have opinions. We try not to bash games, okay? I mean, some of us have stronger opinions than others, but hey, not everybody likes sushi. Not everybody likes hamburgers, but everybody eats. So, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. Take care. Take time to yourself. Play some games, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.